Self-criticism is killing your feminine energy. Let's talk about it. All right, my name is Jocelyn Wildwomb. I am a yoga therapist, trauma-informed. I help women get empowered with their self-care, align with their feminine energy, and grow their confidence, which is already within you. Okay, so let's talk about self-criticism killing your feminine energy, because it literally is. Now, if you're really curious about this topic, I really highly recommend Kristen Neff. She talks a lot about self-compassion and how it is just so healing and empowering. So let's get into it, because I know that you have some self-criticism. We all do. You might not even know that you're doing it. Think about how many unconscious thoughts you have in a day. Think about how many thoughts you have in a day. Most of us, if we don't have a daily inner awareness practice, we don't even know what we're saying to ourselves. I am talking about all those little things you say to yourself throughout the day.
I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, this person doesn't like me, I shouldn't have done that, I don't deserve this, I feel guilty, I feel shame.
On and on and on. Yes, it's normal, we all do this, but if you are ready to align with your feminine energy, if you're ready to feel more confident, you have got to stop this game with yourself. So let's get into how you do this, because the great thing about this, anyone can do this at any age. It's so easy. It's not something that you sit down on your mat and like, okay, I've got to do this for 20 minutes every day. No, this is like, there's this wonderful quote about how self-care can happen in any given moment. Your self-care can happen at the grocery line. It can happen while you're cleaning. It can happen while you're out for dinner with your friends. Every moment is an opportunity for you to practice self-care and to level up your self-acceptance within. So if you're someone who either knows they have a heavy shitload of self-criticism, or if you're like, I'm not really sure, this is where you're going to start. We'll start with a practice every single day to practice inner awareness. Maybe this is lying in bed in the morning. Maybe this is on a yoga mat where you do some meditation for 5 minutes. Maybe you're someone who likes to have a moving meditation where you go on a walk or you just be in nature for a moment. Get quiet enough that you can ask yourself, what's going on in my mind today? Is it like a speed train of thoughts, channel surfing? Am I stuck in a pain story? You know, that reoccurring story, like, how could he do this to me? Why did I do that 10 years ago? Or, you know, like, or this accident happened to me and it's just reframing everything that I see around me. Or do you notice that you're quite calm? Okay, so you're gonna get quiet and you're gonna ask yourself these questions. You're gonna check in with yourself with nothing but curiosity. There is no need to change, and you're not gonna judge yourself. So if you sit down and you say, wow, my God, there are so many thoughts right now. I am channel surfing, I'm thinking about a million things at once. Don't try to change it, don't judge yourself, but just be aware. The next thing you're gonna do is notice a particular thought that is reoccurring. And this might not happen in one day. You know, you might have this practice for a month, a few weeks, who knows? And you notice, wow, I always have this reoccurring thought like I'm not good enough. I always have this reoccurring thought like I feel guilty for doing this thing for myself, buying this thing for myself. Something like that. You're gonna notice a reoccurring thought. The top one is I'm unworthy. This is the human condition. It's a really popular one. So the next thing that you're going to do is just start a little journal practice. And if you're not into journaling, it's okay. Keep it in your mind. Personally, I need a journal. Start to note those thoughts down. Self-critical thoughts, because you're going to notice some very popular ones. And you might think that, oh, this one person brought this out in me. But no, you're gonna probably recognize that this thought is coming up in many different situations with many different people. It's being triggered. The self-criticism is going to lead to feelings in your body, tensions, pains, blocks. So the next thing that you want to start inquiring is like, when I tell myself I shouldn't have done that, I don't deserve this, I'm not worthy, or whatever that thought might be for you, how does that feel in your body? Where do you feel it? You're gonna have it somewhere. For example, a lot of people will have a feeling of shame or guilt, and they'll notice it like it's heavy in my heart. It's in my womb, these feelings. Everyone's gonna be different. So don't listen to anyone who tells you, you know, you see these reels, these videos where they say, shame is living in your hips, fear is living in your hips. Yes, sure, it can, but it's not for everyone. We all store our memories and our emotions in different places in our body. How exciting. But here's the wonderful part about this. When you start to notice your pattern of self-criticism and then that link, the mind-body-soul connection of where you feel it in your body, you can start to bring in self-compassion. And when you bring in self-compassion, you release those feelings. Because the weird thing about it is when you bring awareness to these feelings with kindness and love, that's when they flow through you. When you avoid, when you resist, when you're like, okay, yeah, I feel unworthy, no big deal, like life goes on, people have it harder, it grows, it gets bigger. So when you can get super, super curious about yourself, notice the self-criticism, be kind to yourself. Like, what would you say to your inner child or to your best loved one if they looked at you and said, I feel like I'm not worthy of this, I don't deserve this? Would you say, yeah, that sounds right? Or would you say like, oh my God, I love you. Why would you? Of course you're worthy. You're such a wonderful person. You deserve everything in the world. And so this is the dialogue that you start to have with yourself. And it might not feel natural at first. A lot of people are ingrained with self-criticism. They think it's funny, you know, like, oh, come on. I get it. Yeah, we do it. But the more you can catch yourself doing that and invite self-compassion in, this is when it starts to flow. And your energy, it just wants to flow. Your emotions, they just want to flow. So you're aligning with the essence of who you are. Okay, now the feminine energy piece is this. When you start to release the self-criticism, the fear, the shame, the guilt, the doubt, all these heavy feelings that are living in your body, when you start to come into more self-compassion, things start to flow, you feel lighter, more freedom in your body, this is when you connect to your feminine energy more. And I hate when people say they're blocked, but I do get it that you can feel blocked or you feel like it's lost or you're stuck when it comes to feeling sensual, sexual, confident, all that stuff. When you release these feelings, just imagine this pathway opening within you. And then you connect to your feminine energy. It's easy. And the way that you connect to your feminine energy is through simple practices again. Everything I offer to you are things that you can do from the comfort of your own home from any age. And no, you don't need a physical womb. I work with lots of people of different identities who have had hysterectomy. Think of this as such a beautiful energetic space within you. Okay, but step one, if you are someone who is heavy self-critical and you're like, oh, why don't I feel better about myself? Why aren't I more confident? And you just keep beating yourself up about it, this is where you start. A lot of people will skip this step and they'll go straight to doing all these deep feminine practices of feeling more sexual, confident, go into intimacy, but they'll be heavily self-critical. And it's like, why isn't this working? This is why. You have to start here. I do a really intense version of this release process in my feminine energy course, and I call it shadow work. You may have heard of shadow work. Many different ways to do it. I do it in my course in a really creative way where you do like art practices and like creative exercises and gentle movement to kind of release this stuff because it can be quite heavy, it can be a little bit intense. But if you want to start right now, 5 minutes, go to a quiet space, go on your bed, go into nature, bring your hands to your body and just check in with yourself. Am I in my body? Am I in my body? What are my thoughts like right now? Am I channel surfing? Am I stuck in a pain story? Is it calm? Like, what's going on here? Where is the tension in my body right now? Do I habitually hold tension somewhere? And most likely you're going to notice a link between the thoughts and the tensions. This is the somatic approach. This is the approach of yoga therapy, the mind-body-soul connection. And start here. And honestly, like whoever's watching this, you are your own healer. If you're someone who's constantly looking outside of you for guidance or like to feel better about yourself, really trust that this wisdom is within you. And it's just about you aligning with it. Okay? Get a nice journal for this experience and let it be ugly. You know, like all those terrible thoughts that come up that we all do, especially as women, like we're constantly judging ourselves, telling ourselves we're not good enough, we're aging, we're not sexy anymore, we're not good enough for this person. Get it out onto a piece of paper and start here. get in touch with me or read the comments. I'll share some lovely little practices for after this step where you can start to connect to your womb with lovely meditations, yoga nidra, which is a gentle form of hypnotherapy, and on and on. I have so many practices. Really think about this as an limitless toolbox for you to access. When you're ready, when you're in that space where you've released self-criticism and you want to connect to your feminine energy, it is for life, and there are endless practices and tools that you can do every day. You find the one that works for you, and you just let it become who you are. You let it become a part of your daily life. And I can say after years of practice, like every moment of my life, every minute of the day is inviting feminine energy in a different way, whether it's like loving nature, connecting with animals, taking time to practice self-compassion, honoring the moon. Like there's just so many ways for you to do this. I really hope that this has helped you. I know it can be tough, especially, where we are right now with social media. There's so many talks about, maybe not talks, kind of more like demands of like saying how to feel better, be more sexy, get this, buy this, do this. And it's like, truthfully, you feeling your most empowered and confident relates and correlates to how much you can notice your inner world. Yes, there's things going on outside of us. We're stressed, we've got jobs, maybe we have kids, there's shit going on. But what's going on in here and in your womb, in your inner world? What are the feelings there? What are the tensions, the sensations, the emotions? What's your breathing like? That is equally, if not more, important. So take your time, start looking within every single day with nothing but kindness and love. If you notice you're feeling lots of tension, you're feeling stress, there's lots of shitty, non-serving thoughts, be kind to yourself on that day. Go have a nice meal, sleep extra. Don't go to that big engagement because you don't have the social battery to do it. Just start to love yourself in all these new, fabulous, wonderful ways. And once this criticism starts to release, you will naturally have space and energy to align with your feminine power, your feminine energy. And I'm so excited for you.